Today we are here to talk about how to get our essential oils paid for. So this is like, I think, my most favorite class. I say that at certain classes really because I have a lot of favorite classes. But I like to talk about the business stuff. And some of you know, some of you don't know, but I owned a ballroom dance studio for 5 years and I sold it about a year and a half ago. And I won't talk about the oils. This class is all about the business. But Joan did continue to bring me things all the time for me to try things out, diffusing, toothpaste, all kinds of stuff. And then finally, when I decided to get my own wholesale account or my own account, I didn't do it with the idea that I was going to do the business because I had a business. I thought, I am too busy. And I had many people approach me in the past about doing doTERRA, and I'm like, oh God, you see I have a business. I don't have time for this. There's just no way I can't, and there's just no way I can fit it into my life. When I did finally get one, I had tried so many products that I knew that I loved the products, number one. And I'm always thinking, like, I'm very business minded anyway. So I did know that Joan is very successful. So if I'm going to sign up with somebody, number one, she's going to help educate me the right way. Whatever questions I have, she's not going to leave me in the dark. And in the beginning, I did probably text her a lot with questions. But I did know that she's very successful with the business, and I wanted to be a part of a team that was good with both, whatever avenue I chose to take. And in the beginning, I just had really big orders because I loved the products. I did share the products with everybody. I told everybody about them all the time. But all I thought at the time was, ooh, let me just get my orders really big and I'll gain all those points from it, and then I'll just buy my own products with the points and I don't have to worry about spending money on my own products.
$800 orders.
What?
She used to put in $800 orders.
For a few months, so even more than that. I think my first order was like, the first month was like $1,000. And so it just was.
For you?
No, for people. Everybody wanted stuff. They would just order through me. And I would just order it and then take their money and then give them the products when they came in. It was a little bit, kind of was a pain. I didn't intend for that to happen quite the way that it did. And so when I got pregnant, it was, after I had the baby, that was the time where I was sort of trying the business a little bit. I would do like a class a month or something like that, but more for fun. And there was no structure. I didn't know how it all worked. But it was after I had the baby, I decided I didn't have any more time to do everybody's orders. And I basically just made them get their own accounts. And then, which Joan had been suggesting that I do all along. And I was like, I don't have time for this. So I did. And then I was like, oh, okay, well that's how you make money. Okay, now I get it. And ever since then, I'm like obsessed with doTerra. So I did sell my business a year and a half ago, and I sold it for this one because I love that I have more time with my kid, and everybody just talks about their kids, and my husband. I have more time with my family. I get to go places. I was just telling Claire I was in Florida for 2 weeks, and I taught a couple classes while I was down there so I could write off the trip, brought on some more team members, and that was an awesome trip, and I try to do that wherever I go because this is fun to me. This doesn't feel like work. But you can make a lot of money. So today we're talking about how to get your essential oils paid for. So I'm talking fast because we started a little bit late, so if you don't understand something, please definitely ask me. But the things that we're going to cover today are, we're going to talk about why are you here? Why are you here? I'm not going to go around the table. We won't take up the time, but I want you just to think to yourself, why are you here? Probably to get your oils paid for, because that was the name of the class. Or maybe you're just curious. Maybe you've been working really hard and you're already doing the business, but you're looking to hold your own business class. Or I don't know what the answer is, but for those of you, if you're new, like, why are you here? Why do you want to get your oils paid for? Is it that much of a financial situation? Like, would $150 make that big of a difference to you to where you could spend $150 all on oils and products and not spend it at the grocery store and have healthier, better products for you and your family and not have to worry about that monthly payment? Or maybe you have a spouse that is like, why are you spending $150 on oils or whatever it is that you spend? Just using that as an example. Are you here because you want to make enough money to cover your car payment? Maybe that little bit of extra money will be really beneficial to you. Just that little boost of extra, whatever your car payment is. What about your mortgage? If you could cover your mortgage with your little doTerra business, am I on?
Yeah, just seeing if there was comments for you.
Hi, come on in. If you could cover your mortgage with your doTerra business, what would that make you feel like? how much of a help would that be? How much would your spouse love you? They like your oil business now, right? But seriously, like that, and it could go on and on, but I'm not just throwing those things out there just, you know, as a far-fetched thing. These are real situations. So think about, hi, welcome.
Hello.
This is
Think,
Liz.
hi,
This is
Liz.
Carrie.
You can take that green packet right there. We haven't gotten to it yet, but I'm just talking about why we're here. Why are you here? Why are you interested in oils? Why are you interested in learning about the business? So just find that I just want you to think to yourself what the importance of that little bit of extra money, what it could do for you and what it can do for your family. So that's really important. So the cool thing is no matter what you're here, no matter what amount of time that you want to put into this business, it's all okay. Everything fits with doTerra, whether it's 2 hours a week, 2 hours a day, 20 hours a day, it doesn't make any difference. You can succeed with doTerra. Obviously, the more work you put into it, the faster you're gonna see results, right? That just makes sense, right? Okay, so we're gonna get right to how to make money, because I know that's what everybody wants to know. That would be my first question. Like, okay, enough of this why stuff. So 3 things we're gonna talk about today. What is LRP? What is the power of 3? And what is fast start? So in that green, I'm not gonna read this is for you to take home, okay? But I'm gonna just pinpoint a couple quick things. So if you open up the first page, it does talk about why are you interested in doing this, but we just did. We'll come back to the goal section, but go ahead and switch to, okay, switch to the page where it says compensation and power of 3. It's like the last page, second to last page. So just hold that open. You don't have to read it right now. So there are a few different ways that we make money with doTerra. Number 1, you can make money just from selling your products at retail. So I kind of don't really count that, but that is making money. You make 25%. So when I had the dance studio, I had like a little, like a glass locked cabinet. I kept products in there. I did sell products that way. Am I gonna pay my mortgage that way? I didn't, but it was nice. It was nice extra money. So that is one way. The next way would be fast start bonus. So that's by finding other people that love the products. And I'll tell you right now, over the last few years, I'd say the last 3 years, mainly that I've gotten more involved with doTerra, it is very easy to, for me, I'm speaking from personal experience, it's very easy for me to find people that want the products, right? Because you have to find those people that need help with something. If you are genuinely trying to help people with whatever situations they are experiencing, it's not coming from a salesy type of thing. And honestly, once they try the products and you're probably sampling them, which yes, it costs money to you to sample your products out. However, the products sell themselves because they work, because you are with the #1 essential oil company in the world. You can't top that. There's a reason for it. So you have to educate yourself. You have to educate yourself not just on the business, but on the products. You have to continue to show up to classes. I can't tell you how many times I had classes that I invited people to and nobody wanted to come, but I showed up. That's how you learn, because every time somebody speaks and says something, you hear something a different way, something that you can take into the way that you speak. So it's really important to continue your education because that is going to be how you actually help people. So signing people up for me is very simple. Finding those people that want to do the business is not as easy, but that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. You have to find, it's not a fit for everybody. Finding those people that it's a fit for, obviously, are going to help your business grow. So fast start would be by signing people up. So anybody who enrolls with any kind of kit, well, the next class is an introduction to essential oils. Does everybody have their wholesale account already? Yes? Yes, okay. So we have, are they wholesale or wellness advocates?
Both of them have wellness advocates.
Okay, perfect.
Liz is already working the business. Yay, I'm so proud of her. And Glenda, that's why she's here to learn more.
To learn more, awesome. And you have your own wholesale account?
No.
Nothing yet. Okay, so I'm just going to, and the next class, you'll see how, Gia's gonna teach the next class. You'll see the structure of a class. And I'm not gonna talk about that today, that's a whole nother class. But when you sign people up, there's different kits. You probably signed one up probably signed up for one yourself with one of these kits because you get a free enrollment. So it's a really awesome thing. But the enrollment kits, anytime somebody enrolls, obviously you're going to get a percentage of that. Okay, so this is just like another way that you make money. So I'm going to give you an example. So let's say I sign Gia up and Gia signs up Claire, okay? Let's say that, oh, it doesn't matter which kit. Whatever kit that Gia signs up, or whatever, let's say you signed up Claire. Let's say Claire starts with whatever a $200 kit is on there. Okay, Gia's gonna get 20% of that because she enrolled Claire. Okay, 20% for 60 days of anybody that you enroll, you get that commission, okay? But even the person who signed you up also gets a commission from it too. So if you look at your little, should be on, might be on the sharing page. Sometimes I like to give visuals because, and if you're watching Periscope, I'm teaching from the sharing DoTerra, which you can get in your back office. Let's see if I have a little visual for you. Basically, anybody that signs up, anybody that you sign up, you get 20% of anything that they purchase for the first 60 days. And then your upline also gets 5%, right? Is that how that works? Yes. So it's 20, 10, and 5. 20, 10, and 5. So as you start to accumulate, I don't know which one it's in, but it doesn't matter. But that's the way that it works. So anybody that you enroll, you get 20% of anything that they purchase for the first 60 days. After that, it does drop down, but you're still getting a percentage. So are you going to pay your mortgage if you sign up one person? No, it is an accumulation of many people that start coming on board. So the importance is sharing and teaching everybody, getting as many people interested, even if they're not interested in the business. Maybe one day in the future they will be, but learning to accept those people who don't want to do the business too. Like those people who just want the products, those people are like gold to us too, because you still get to help them. You still are going to better their lifestyle with the products, and they're still going to be ordering. You still make money from an accumulation of everybody that you are enrolling. And anybody that they enroll, right? Same thing. So we have, sorry, I'm all over the place. So with my papers. So fast start. Everybody understands that. 20% of anybody that enrolls with a 100 PV order. Does everybody know what PV is? It's product volume. So if you haven't noticed it yet, but in your back office, so let's say if you buy a lavender and it's $20, you'll also see that it's worth 20 PV. Okay, if you don't know what this is, whoever brought you can show you in your back office what this is. So if you buy a toothpaste, it might be $8, but it's worth 6 PV or whatever it is. I'm kind of making these up, they're not exact. But it's slightly less because it's not just an individual oil. If you're just doing just regular oils, the PV is the same. So that's important to know. Anybody that enrolls with 100 PV, they don't even have to get a kit. Anybody that enrolls with 100 PV or higher, a kit or not kit, you still get that fast start bonus. Now, if you have somebody that signs up with just like the enrollment, like a $35 packet, it's not ideal. You don't really want people doing that because they don't have any oils to use. Why are they signing up? They need oils to learn how to use the oils in order to share with people to do the business or whatever it is. But if it's under 100 PV, then you don't get fast start bonus. So I think that's important to know. So does everybody understand what fast start? Okay, so now we've covered two ways. So retail, you can sell any of your products for 25% more. And both products are listed in your back office. You can send them to your retail website. Everybody has a retail website if they're a wellness advocate, right? Just send them there. They can just shop on their own. They pay through DoTerra. DoTerra will send you the check. Easy. So selling products at retail, super simple. You make 25%. Fast start bonus, that's just like extra commissions that you get. Those are paid out weekly, and that is just from signing people up, extra bonuses from signing people up. So let's say you have a class and you have 6 people in the class and 3 people start with the Home Essentials kit is really popular. So let's say 3 of those people decided they want to start with this kit. You get a $50 commission on each one, so you just made $150. It's one class, but then whatever they order the next month, you're still making money on that. So if you're holding 2 classes per month, and let's say you just had the same thing happen, now you're making $300 a month from those 2 classes, from signing 6 people up. You'll get the commission from whatever they are purchasing the following month. And then if you're still holding 2 new classes, you do that again, so you're kind of doubling your money. So the point is you have to stay active, you have to keep meeting with people, having classes, or just sitting with people. You don't have to do group classes. It's really up to you. You can do a combination, whatever works for you, but that's how Fast Start works. So that make sense? I know I went through that fast. Please ask if that doesn't make sense. Okay, so then the third one is the power of 3. So this is where the whole company, all your big money is built on power of 3. Those are just 2 little fun ways that you get to make money. The power of 3, I always draw this out. I'm kind of horny and like old school in certain ways. Like I think some people just get set in certain ways, and I'm one of those people, and I hate looking for the diagram, so I'm just gonna draw it out because this is such a small class. I'm not an artist, so just bear with me. Okay, let's do it in red for fun. Okay, so here's me. Okay, there's me. So let's say I sign 3 people up. Let's say Bill, sometimes guys do like their essential oils and they join. I'm gonna make them all men because this is Father's Day month. John and Gary. It's usually women, or mostly women, but I'm going crazy here. Bill, John, and Gary. They decide to join your team, okay? Let's say you are spending, I'm gonna make this easy for the math because this could go a million different ways. Let's say your order is 150 PV that you're ordering, okay? And let's say Bill, John, and Gary all spend $150 a month too. And let's say you signed up this person, and you have a few more people. These 2, they're not ordering anything. They signed up and they're not ready to place another order. It happens. It's okay. No big deal. Hopefully you get them to come to classes because the more people are educated and they learn about the oils, the more that they're going to want to use them. So they're not really ordering anything. Maybe there's a couple small orders. So I'm going to give you a couple scenarios. But let's say I'm spending $150 and Bill, John, and Gary spend $150. You have a total between the 4 of you of 600 PV. Okay, that's a total of 600 PV. You just got your first power of 3 bonus. It's a small bonus, it's $50. This is somewhere in that pamphlet, just so you know, okay? So that's the first little bit of money. So hopefully you're making fast starts by signing these people up. You're not just making $50, maybe you're making $200 in the month, maybe you're making 5. It just depends on how many people in accumulation that you're enrolling. But if you're not enrolling anybody, and those 3 people place that, and you place 150, you have a $50 per month. Now, as long as those stay at that type of, what am I trying to say? As long as you keep this intact, okay? Like you placing your order and 3 people under you spending $150, you will always get that $50, even if you're not holding classes or signing people up. You're always gonna get that. But that's not what you're here for. You're here for more money. I understand that. But let's say that Bill, John, and Gary, let's say Bill and John placed $150 order, but Gary only placed $100. Well, the rules are to get your fast start bonus. It's really important to know. It's not hard. It just sounds confusing at first, but once you start hearing more about it, it's going to be very simple. You have to have a minimum of a 100 PV order to be considered from doTerra to be able to make any kind of money. So you have to have a 100 PV order. If you placed a 50 PV order and you're signing people up, you don't want to do that because you're not going to make anything with doTerra. For you to be considered a business person with doTerra, a wellness advocate wanting to make money, you must have a minimum of 100 PV order each month. I was saying you were placing 150. It really just has to be 100. So that's rule number 1. You have to make sure you place a 100 PV order each and every month if you want to make money. Number 2, you have to have 3 people under you at least, just 3 people at least, and doing the same thing, a minimum of a 100 PV order. That's the second thing. The third thing is you have to have an accumulation of your front line. That could be not 3 people, that could be 10 people on your, you don't want 10 people, but it could be as many people that are on your front line with little orders. Maybe this person just bought toothpaste and it's $8 and maybe a $25 order here. Doesn't matter, as long as 3 people have $100 and you have $100, that's $400, and you make up the other $200 with the other people's PV. Does that make sense? You have to have a total of 600 PV between yourself and your front line, with 3 of those people placing a 100 PV order. It's a lot to hear on the first, isn't it? That's a lot of information. Did I lose anybody? It is in the paperwork you can take home. What?
When you do it and it works, you're really happy.
Yes. A lot of what you're going to hear tonight is going to be like over your head, feels crazy, like a lot of information. You've heard it a few times, so it makes pretty good sense to you. How did you feel the first time you heard it? Was it like, it's confusing, but you're not here by yourself. You're not going to leave today and not have any help. You are here with whoever brought you, and they're going to take you along the way and make sure that you understand everything, but this is just a glimpse of what you're going to need. So that's how you make your $50, okay? That's a power of 3. Everything in doTerra is made up of a power of 3. You keep your 100 PV order. 3 people below you have to have a minimum of 100 PV order. So let's just keep it super simple and say everybody does 150. Now you have 3 people and yourself, and now you're at your power of 3, okay? So let's say Bill, John, and Gary, they love the oils. They're, interested in sharing the oils enough to either build a business or get their oils paid for, or maybe I have some people that just like to have parties at their house and have me teach a class. They don't even want to do the business. They just give me the business. They don't want to do it. They just want me to come and teach because they like to host parties. They're out there. So let's say Bill, John, and Gary get their power of 3. Same thing we just talked about, but Bill, John, and Gary are focused now on getting that. Now you're at 250. Okay? That is the point where you're getting your oils paid for, okay? It's not really that hard. It's just being consistent, sharing all the time. Now, every 3 people that sign up do not usually, in my experience, I've never experienced it, no, not everybody keeps that 100 PV order. Or maybe they do, but they don't keep it every single month. Or maybe you have other people over here on the front line, and maybe one day Bill doesn't place that order, and maybe this person is placing that order. But most likely, if Bill, John, and Gary are signing people up under them, they know that they have to keep their order at 100 PV. So you know that they're growing a little bit of a business or a side business, or they're full force, but they're going to keep their orders going. Anybody that I help on my team that has people under them, they know this stuff. They're going to keep their order going every month because you're going to make more. If you don't get your order going, you're not going to make money. So those people that are interested in doing this are keeping their orders going. So I'll just go one step beyond that just so you have an idea. But so this is me, Bill, John, and Gary. They're my power of 3. Bill, John, and Gary get their power of 3, and that's at the 250 mark. And they work on getting the same exact thing, getting these 3 people to get their 3 people, so on and so forth. Then you're at $1,500. Now this is a residual income. As long as this stays intact, and people are placing their orders, then you will always get that $1,500. That's not counting fast start bonuses. That's not counting, there are other things that you don't even need to know about tonight because it's overwhelming, but this is the beginner, just super basic, get started with your business, understanding at least to that 250 mark, because most people, once you get to 250, you're going to want to go to the 1,500 mark because that's a whole lot more money, and that usually for a lot of people maybe takes care of their mortgage or close to it. And how good would that feel for you if you were able to take care of that with just this side business? Maybe you don't have to work as hard. Maybe you can, with your other job, maybe you continue to do both. Maybe you're putting money away for college. I don't know what you would do with the money. What would you do with the money? What would you do with $1,500 a month? Extra, just $1,500 a month.
I'm not sure.
You're not sure? Natalie, what would you do?
Oh, I'd probably pay off something or...
Pay off something? What do you do with all your extra money, Joan? Sorry to call you out.
I give it to my kids and my grandkids.
Oh, that's nice. What would you do?
I would pay my mortgage.
Pay your mortgage with it. What would you do, Glenda?
Pay a bill, go shopping.
Go shopping a little bit? Good, I like it. What do you think? What would you do?
Probably travel with it.
Travel? I love that. What would you do?
Yeah, same thing.
Travel. Travel's a big one. We all want that time. We want that extra time or that extra money to be able to not think about, okay, if I take this week off or 2 weeks off to go to Florida, how much money am I going to miss by not being at my job, and how am I going to pay for all this other stuff? If you didn't have to worry about that, how great would that feel? So most people have traveled somewhere in there. Time constraint, that's a huge thing. Time freedom, to be able to have more time. To me, money is, everybody's different, but money is time for me. More time with whatever it is that I want to do, whether it's travel or spend it with my family. Maybe my husband doesn't have to work so hard. Maybe there's lots of maybes in there. So many different things. So, okay, so we covered retail, selling the products. You get 25%. we covered what Fast Start is. That's just by extra bonus money that's paid out weekly by signing people up. And then the residual part is the power of 3. You work on getting your power of 3 first. Ideally, in a perfect world, the first 3 people that you bring on board, of course, it would be great if you could look for those people that are interested in doing the business as well. Because I'm not going to go into too much detail, but DoTerra is pretty awesome with the way they let us do things, because honestly, it's not just about Bill, John, and Gary signing people up. Like, I could sign people up and move them under Bill, John, and Gary too. So I'm able to help them out, and I help a lot of people out. Joan helps me out. I'm going to help Gia out. We all help each other out because we're all on the same team, and I think that's one of the best things about network marketing. And I think it's funny when people talk about, what do they say, pyramid or trees or whatever. Yeah, it might look like a tree, but I already owned a business. I had people that worked for me, and then we have students, and isn't that kind of sort of like the same type of structure? But I will tell you what is different. When I had the studio, I did everything myself, all of it. I did the books, I did the hiring, I did the training, I did everything by myself. My husband helped me a little bit, but I did it all. You don't do it all in this business. There is a structure, it's already set. All you have to do is follow it, but you have to follow it. You can't just think that you're going to make money by making a couple phone calls and handing out a couple samples. So fortune is in the follow-up. When you're sampling people, ask their permission. Can I follow up with you? Can I call you in a couple days? I'm going to give you this for sleeping. Can I ask you tomorrow how it worked? I don't know if I'm going to use it tonight. Can I ask you in a couple days? Ask permission to follow up with people. People appreciate it. If you're not like on them, attacking them, like not leaving them alone, that's when people kind of put the red flag up. But if you are being genuine and you truly are trying to help people, then they will thank you for it. I have more people. I think sometimes I might drive people crazy because I invited a lot of people to this class, and this is really small, so maybe I do drive people crazy when I'm inviting, but I always let them know, if you'd rather me not invite you, just let me know. And everybody says, no, keep inviting me because I will be able to make it. So it just depends on how you go about doing it. We could do a lot of classes on just inviting, how to teach a class, how to talk to people one-on-one, different ways that we can sample people. So those are all things that you can learn. It's not meant to be all crammed into tonight. I just want you all to know that at the starting point of understanding how the business is, if you're wanting to start it as a business, know what your minimum order is. You got to keep it at 100 PV, because I would hate to see somebody sign somebody up and then not get any commission for it because their order wasn't high enough. If you sign up, I'll just use that same kit. If you sign 2 people up with that Home Essentials kit, you just covered your own order anyway. You really did just pay for your oils. So all you gotta do is put a little bit of work into it. So does that make sense? Those 3 ways of making money? There are more, but we're just gonna limit it to those for now because I don't wanna overwhelm you too much. So signing somebody up, I'm not gonna necessarily go over that tonight because that will take a lot of time, and really, when you do sign somebody up, whoever you signed up with will go over it with you and walk you through it. It's really easy, but the first couple times you do it, you might be kind of slow with it. So I highly recommend that when you have somebody interested in doing it, you have them fill out the wholesale form. These are on DoTerra.com, or you can get it from the person who is helping you. You just get somebody to fill this out, and then you take it home, and you take your time, and the person that you are here with tonight will help you go through it. They're going to coach you on how to sign somebody up. And your next goal would be getting them on LRP. Do you all know what LRP is? I'm going to explain it anyway, but do you feel like you know what it is? Who feels like they know what it is? Okay, so this is the key, one of the most important things, because when you're sharing and you're talking to people about the oils, and then they're like, oh, how much is it to do it? Well, and then you're like, okay, you can sign up with a kit, or you don't have to. But if you spend 100 PV, and what's PV? Well, I don't really know exactly what it is, but it's not exactly the same as the cost of an oil. And if you spend $125 a month or PV a month, you get a free product. You can go in many different areas with the LRP. If you confuse people, you lose them. You might even be lost right now. So I'm gonna make it very simple. All you have to do is explain what LRP is to your friends like this. It's points for free products. That's it. It's pretty easy. Points for free products. Everybody likes free stuff. That's why they get the wholesale account anyway. Points for free products. So it's just like frequent flyer miles with the airlines. The more you fly, the more free flights you get. The more oils you purchase, you get points for free products. So I'm going to explain it to you. So the first 3 months you are in doTerra consistently ordering, you get 10% back in points. So if you spend $100, you get $10 back in points. You can save your points, you can let them roll over from month to month, you can send them to a friend that lives in Montana. It does not matter what you do with your points, they are yours to use, you're not going to lose them, okay? First 3 months you get 10%, the next 3 months you get 15%, then 20, then 25. At month 13 you top out at 30%. So anytime I place a $100 order, I get $30 back in points, okay? That's pretty good. So what I do, the way I use my account, is I don't buy things that I normally once bought at the grocery store. I buy my laundry detergent, my toothpaste, my facial products. They are my most favorite products. I do not buy them because they are doTerra necessarily. I buy them because I really truly love them, right? And I get money back from purchasing on my own account. So all of those things, if you looked at your grocery list and the things that you buy there, vegetable wash, all these things, when you have the oils, you can make a lot of those things yourself for pennies on the dollar. So the oils you might feel they could be in your mind pricey, maybe they're not, but if you know how to use them the right way, pennies on the dollar for what you buy the items for at the grocery store. So these are the things that I help my people learn. I help them learn how to place their monthly orders. I sit with them, I talk about what they're needing in their life or missing in their life, so I can help get their orders geared towards what is best for them. That's just something that I do for everybody, and it helps them get on LRP. LRP is what? Points for free products. That's it. So at month 13, you top out at 30%. As long as you keep ordering, you will always stay at that 30%. So that's pretty awesome. That's a pretty good deal. So LRP, so you know what LRP is. You know the 3 ways that we make money. And what time is it right now?
6:51.
Oh, awesome. I'm talking really fast. Am I talking too fast for you? We're all women. We talk faster than men do. All right. Sorry if there's men out there watching. Okay. So just important things that we can do daily, weekly, and monthly. So I'm going to tell you right now, this is not like a get-rich business. It is not like you're going to be making your mortgage payment in your first month. It doesn't happen like that. But it grows sometimes slowly, faster if you put more work into it. It does grow, and then at some point you just get this momentum where it really starts just taking off, and you get all this little extra bonuses from different areas, and you can make a lot of money. But none of it will happen if you don't put the work into it. None of it will happen if you don't sample people, if you don't follow up with people, if you don't. It's not always all about money, because if you're thinking like, well, I don't have the money to buy extra oils to sample people with, you can still take them to a class. Most of the time at classes, people are handing out free stuff anyway. Ask the person that you enrolled with. I bet they're going to be very generous with you if you're going to have a class. So another great thing is most people will kind of sign up their friends and family right off the bat, because those are your people that you're closest to. I can tell you my front line of people that I signed up it's like my mom and my stepmom, and they're the people that are not really doing a whole lot. It's sort of just the way that it kind of happens, and then you sort of grow into finding those people that want to do the business, and you kind of put them on teams of people. You kind of want to, well, we're not going to get into structuring the teams, you'll do that later, but you just want to share and you want to follow up, because I said fortune is in the follow-up. So many people in this business will sample people, but they don't follow up. And everybody in here, you are all very good at different things, and finding your strengths and your weaknesses are important. Your weaknesses so you can work on getting stronger, but you don't have to make your weaknesses your strong suit. Work on the things that you're strong with. I'm strong with following up. I'm really good with being organized. I make lists for everything. If anybody wants to meet with me one-on-one, I will help you figure out how to get organized, because lots of people are not organized, okay? I have a list for everything. Lists of people who have signed up. Lists that are people interested in the business. People that want me to follow up. I don't forget to follow up, because the second I sample to somebody, they went on my list with the date that I sampled them, and I'm calling them within 48 hours, usually the next day. But I never do it without asking them, because I never want people to think that I'm bugging them or selling them. If this truly isn't the right products for somebody, I think everybody could benefit from doTerra. But if that's the case, then I'm not going to follow up with them. I'm not going to try to sell them. I want to help everybody. Don't you think everybody has something that, I shouldn't say don't you, but I already started with it. Do you feel like everybody you know could be helped in some way? In something. Maybe they need help sleeping. Maybe maybe they're pregnant. If anybody who's pregnant needs the oils a million times over, because when you're pregnant you can't use anything over the counter. Everything has to be natural. Same thing with babies. That's the easiest one when you have kids. Every kid needs it. Every business needs it. Everybody needs to work on cleaning, cleansing the air and purifying the air, and we need to sleep better. Everybody gets a headache now and then. I could go on and on, but I'm not going to. Skin issues, scar, whatever. Somebody needs an oil for something, right? You'll see those pictures. There's an oil for that because there's an oil for everything. But educate yourself so you can help them find the right oil. It's not just, hey, pick out one of these kits. This is for you. Because what if that kit doesn't work for you? What if it's not the best thing for that person? You need to sit down with them and help them figure out the list of oils that are going to help them reach whatever it is that they're trying to get to. And that takes education on your part. And I know when I first started, I felt like, I don't know enough I can't teach a class. I don't know enough about a class. I can't sit with this person because I'm supposed to be like an expert in essential oils. I have another job. I've been doing this for 2 hours, You don't have to know any of that. This book right here, The Essential Life, the best book. It is like the Bible of essential oils, okay? Everybody that enrolls with whatever kind of account I refer to get that book, because it doesn't matter whether you want recipes or like dosage or whatever you could possibly need. There are things in that book that I can't even believe are in there. It's funny. Everything is in that book. That one, and there's another one called Modern Essentials. This is a great one over here. Okay? Those are great things to reference to. So if you are trying to learn more, get that book. It's like $25. You can get it on Amazon.
You can get Modern Essentials.
And you can get the Modern Essentials app. I'm looking for my phone. It's periscoping. It's like $6. It doesn't have as much information as the book does, but I promise you will use it all the time. Because anytime you're doing something, you're around somebody. Awesome. This is what it looks like. Anytime you're around somebody and they're like, oh, I have a toothache. Whatever the situation is, toothache. And I'll give you an example. Headache. Make it simple. Okay, it pops up all the different oils you can use, how to use it, and then different types of headaches and how you can use the oil, okay? And I always like to educate people, because when you type something in and you see 20 different oils pop up and you're like, oh, I don't have all those oils. I can't afford to get all those oils, or I don't have all those oils. You don't have to. Our body's chemistries are all different. They all work differently. Start with one. If you have one of those oils, try it. So a lot of this is trial and error for people. So as you're sampling people with whatever their issues are, if something's not working, it doesn't mean the oils don't work. Maybe that wasn't the best oil for them. So you're looking things up, you're asking Gia, me, Joan, whoever. If we don't know, we'll find somebody to help you with whatever the situation is. But so much is online as well. So educate yourself. Okay, so we were talking about daily, weekly, monthly really quick. So we have something called daily, like 2 and 2. Contacts, 2 contacts per day, and follow up with 2 people per day. Okay, I will tell you, my 2 and 2 is not 2 and 2, it's like 100 and 100, not really. It's probably like 10 and 10 or something. If you can do more, but do a minimum of 2 and 2. You met somebody, your ears are always open and you're listening, they have some sort of ailment. Everybody likes to talk about themselves, right? Listen to them. Find out what it is. Get their information, and never sample somebody without getting their information. If you're at the grocery store and something happens, you're talking with somebody and you pass over a sample to them, get their information. If they're not going to give you the information, I don't give the sample out. Okay? So 2 and 2, or however many you can do. Weekly, attend an event. Even if you can't get to a class, you can watch something on your phone, you can watch something online. If you want specifics of some good classes, I can tell you them. If you talk to me after class, I'll tell you some specific ones that I personally like. There's lots out there. Attending a class. It is different attending a class versus just watching one online, but if you can't get to a class, watching one online is really great. But I'll tell you some of the best things. Joan has a lunch and learn at her house every Tuesday. and it's in the middle of the day, and I've learned some of the best things, and it's not always just from the class or who's teaching, it's by chatting with the ladies beforehand. And most of the time I don't even know half the people there, or I didn't in the beginning, but I learn a lot of great things just like the before and after talks that I have with people, like educational, great information. So get to a class and personal development. I kind of think some of those go together, but do something for yourself. Does anybody have a couple great books to recommend, Joan?
How to win friends and influence people.
What is it? How to win friends and influence people. What else?
Oh, there's so many.
There's one that I'm thinking of and I'm blanking on the name of it. It's the one that I always recommend and I can't think of what it is right now. It's a white cover with gray writing. Okay, anyway.
Making the first circle work. That's it.
What is it?
Making that first circle work is kind
Making
of
the first circle work. Okay, I haven't read that one. But there's lots of great books out there. Do something to better yourself, because this business is also about you being happy. If you're not happy with where you're at, you're not going to really be able to help your team of people that you're bringing on. And monthly, you have to host something. You don't have to. I mean, Joan is great with one-on-ones. I say you have to host a class. When my new people are coming on, I'm like, you have to at least plan something. But if you're too shy or too timid to be having your own classes, you don't have to teach the class. You ask Gia or myself or Joan or whoever, Julie, somebody will teach a class for you until you are comfortable. I didn't teach my classes in the beginning. I would have a class and Joan, you would come and teach them the first few.
that
and
would
then
get you.
I know. Taking off, Joan. Just kidding. Okay, so do something daily, weekly, monthly. Set goals, but be realistic. I don't think I was really realistic in the very beginning because I made some I'll just say I made some unrealistic goals, and that you have to work for where you want to be. And if you are trying to set goals, get help, I would suggest, from whoever is helping you. Get help with setting the goals, right? Make sure it fits into your lifestyle. Think about, and tonight when you go home, if this is something that you're interested in, you should be thinking about right now, what kind of time commitment can I make to this? Whatever it is, an hour, 5 hours, 20 hours a week, what is your time commitment? We do have the flexibility with this business of working from home. I can do online classes. Like right now I have people watching that live in other states because they can't be here. They get to be here with us. It's very cool. There's a lot that we can take advantage of just from doing these classes online, but there also is that personal touch that is missing just from being online. So it is very good if you can actually have a class in your home. Or meet with people one-on-one. That's a really great thing. Joan does certify people with Aroma Touch, so that's something that I would suggest that you should do. I did it a few years ago, and almost every person that I enroll, I will invite to my house for an Aroma Touch. That doesn't mean that you have to invite everybody over your house, because that can take up a lot of your time. But if you are able to give that to a person, it's like a treatment of 8 different essential oils. These people get a chance to feel great, experience the oils, and then that's when I take the time and I sit down, I go over their oils with them that just came in, they don't know how to use anything, I kind of teach them about it, and then I help them set up their LRP. And that's how I do it, and pretty much a vast majority is on LRP. They don't all place $100 a month, but pretty much most people do continue to reorder. I believe DoTerra's retention rate is 65%, which is the top in network marketing businesses. Ever. 65% is a very high retention rate. So think about the amount of time that you want to put into this. So I think after this class, you should be getting together with the person that you enrolled with so they can sit there and go over your goals with you and help you figure out whatever time that you are going to put into the business, what you're going to do with that time. So you're not sitting at home like, okay, here's part of my 5 hours. What am I going to do? Have help with what to do and the education to get you where you want to go, because we do have a good mentoring program. You just have to make a couple decisions of where you're trying to head. Are there any questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
You said earlier that men don't enroll and buy kits. Why? And
No, they do. Well, doTERRA is primarily like mostly female.
Why?
I think because we're the nurturers. Yeah, there are men, of course. I definitely have signed up men. It's easier to sign up the women because they're the ones taking care of the kids most of the time, and they're more into
I think it
They have
takes
more
them longer
compassion.
to see the benefits.
Yeah.
Yeah, the men that are in the business, doing the business, do very well with the business. But there are, I believe it's like 80 or 85% women, doTerra is. And I'm not like one of those woman hear me roar type of females, but it is empowering. It's pretty cool because you're around other very business-minded women, and we're all working together to do the same things. And even though I am not always on the same team as other people that I'm talking to, I've never been around such positive people and inspiring and encouraging, right? And so I do classes all the time with people that aren't even on my team because I work well with them. And so it's an amazing, the company is amazing, and doTerra itself is very big on personal development. So I think that's a pretty awesome thing. The company actually cares about all their wellness advocates and how they're doing. So I think a lot of companies don't really care. They just look at the money, but this company doesn't. There's a lot more we could go into just about doTerra, but you could go online and just look up a lot of stuff. You could YouTube doTerra, and actually on doTerra.com there is a business section that you can just play with it, look through, read through stuff, learn more about the company because it's a pretty amazing company. Okay, so any questions?